What's happening, cyber heroes, cyber gangsters? So I wanted to make a video on junior lesson 13, pre-assessment scoping. What I really appreciated about watching this video and kind of gathering information from here, I wrote down a bunch of notes, basically what was on the screen, right? I liked that the idea of scoping being, trying to get some information back before we actually figure out what's in scope. And so seeing the workbook that he has built or uses to send to entities for them to fill out and send back to us, and then for us to use that as a kind of like a guidebook, right, on PCI compliancy, and more so, right? So the umbrella is cybersecurity, right? One of the smaller umbrellas under that is PCI DSS, and so under that, there's a lot of requirements that are involved in making sure that that compliancy exists, right? And before we move into figuring out that compliancy, we have to figure out what the scoping is, and then this assessment that gets sent out is an exhaustive compilation of the information that's got to be looked at to figure out what is in scope and out of scope, right? So that will help us to determine, um, do we need to look at all these networks, all these computers, all these rules. It helps us zone in on where the PCI is married to, right? Like if out of those 200 computers in that organization, if only 20 of those are in the cardholder data environment, those are the only 20 that we should probably be looking at. We give higher priority to those. If to those, and the next to any of the computers that are touching it. But there may be computers, like a cash register up front. Or not. Maybe that's not a good example. But maybe HR has a computer that they use where they don't interact with PCI, right? There's nothing that they do with credit cards. So HR's computers and their systems. We don't necessarily need to focus on that. We need to figure out if they're connected to the networks that touch PCI, the cardholder data environment, but we don't necessarily need to address those and put those under scope so that we can review them. Make sense? I hope it makes sense to me what I'm saying. So I hope I'm regurgitating it well. Anyhow, I just appreciated reviewing the scoping or the assessment, looking at the different sections in there, and realizing the type of information that needs to be sent out to have someone fill out and then get back to us. I have been on the other end of that where I've had to fill out some of the information on those type of assessments. So this is neat seeing the big picture. Thank you.